Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another fun episode of the Hickory the Drunk and Underwhelming Show, the Hickory the Drunk and Under Quarantine Show, the only show on Facebook live stream that is both drunk and underwhelming. We have an exciting lineup for you this evening. And yeah, quite honestly, it's been a crazy week. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to get right to it. Let's introduce our first performer of the evening. He is the founder of the Woolen Comedy Club, a dear friend of the show. Please help us welcome Mr. Collen Doyle.
Hey, ciao amici! Coming to you live from the Woolen Mill Comedy Club here, Quarantino, day 56. It's good to be here at Hickory. I'm finding that Mondays are becoming a day that I'm looking forward to, whatever that means. Had a lot of downtime recently, and thinking about taking a master class. I don't know if you guys have ever looked at taking a master class before. They started out seeming like a logical thing to do, take a master class from a chef about cooking, or take a master class from a well-known author about writing. But it seems like they ran out of the good master classes like pretty quickly, and now they're just like trying to come up with stuff. Like I saw like Stephen Curry's offering like a master class basketball. It's like, okay, who's next? Like LeBron James? Like basically what you end up with is you end up with like someone being like, listen, this master class, I'm going to teach you how to be 6'8", run 40 and under 40, and have a 53-inch vertical jump. I got onto him because I saw James Suckling teaches a master class. He's a sommelier about drinking wine. Learn drinking wine from like James Suckling. Like, what's the logic here? Like I feel like if your master class could also be in the same thing of like something that's like an Addiction Anonymous like group, like it probably shouldn't be a master class, like how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Huh? You just practice with James Suckling. I saw a world poker champion teaches a master class. Like, what's that master class like? Like, if you haven't remortgaged your house 4, 5, 6 times, okay, you're not going to be a poker champ. All right, you need to spend every last dollar you have. Okay, and then maybe you'll win. That's gambling for you, folks. Master class number 1. My favorite one though is now they have a famous CIA interrogator who is a master negotiator of terrorist deals. Like, this is the practicality of master classes now. Like, how are you even selling this? Like, how are you looking for a class where you can learn how to negotiate deals with terrorists more effectively? And like one of the things in like his promo is he's like, I'm going to teach you things that you can use, like mirroring what your person that you're negotiating with is saying, and he's like, and then he was talking about saying something about, using words that like people want to hear. I'm like, when you're negotiating on behalf of the CIA or the United States government, like, you don't have to be any type of genius. You just need to walk into the negotiation and say stuff like, hi, I'm here to negotiate with you. Do you want to be blown to smithereens by the United States military? Do we have a deal? All right, I think those negotiations went pretty well. I don't know about you. It took some negotiating, but at the end of the day, like I've always said, like, some of these negotiation deals, like, what do they do? Just walk in being like, have you seen this documentary about World War II? I think the negotiations went damn well. I gotta be honest. It's funny though, because like people are saying like, there are a lot of global issues and a lot of, debt seems to be one of them. And what's funny to me is right now, global debt has reached $258 trillion, right? And a trillion's like a big word, but we use it a lot now. We say 6 trillion, 2 trillion, 10 trillion, 20 trillion, 258 trillion. I have a question for you guys. You guys at home, go ahead and hop on Facebook if you know the answer to this. What number comes after a trillion? We're going to go ahead and take a minute and see if you guys at home want to come in here on this. What number comes in after a trillion? Because we are 1/4 of the way there. I'm assuming pretty much no one knows what comes after a trillion. I know I don't. I think people would probably say it's a zillion. If you wrote a zillion in, you were wrong. It is not a zillion. But if you told most people we were 1/4 of a zillion dollars in global debt, people are like, yeah, that's a problem. We probably should address that. But I think it's a quadrillion. I don't know. We'll check back in later in the show and see if anybody's figured out. No Googling, all right? But
one of our commenters cut in and said a gazillion.
A gazillion.
I don't know if that's accurate.
I think a gazillion, that's close. It actually might be a gazillion, but it might be a quadrillion or a something or the other. We'll stay tuned. We're going to get you that answer soon. I know a lot of people at home are very sad about not, seeing sports this year. People don't know if the NFL is actually going to, happen this year. And I feel for everybody. Though it's funny for me because I watch football and I watch the Super Bowl, but I don't watch for the football games. I watch for the commercials. And I know commercials like people know football players and football teams. Everyone else would be like watching the game, like really like focusing, and then it'll actually cut and then it'll go to the commercials. And I'll be like, everyone shut the hell up. Like the commercials are on. Like I got to hear this, And then like I'll see someone like, Paul Marcelli, who used to be the Verizon guy and now he's with Sprint, And then I'm like looking, I'm like, Paul Marcelli, my God, look at this guy go. Look at this guy go. He has done more telecommunication commercials than anybody in the game, huh? This guy's phenomenal. This guy's the Tom Brady of cell phone commercials. Am I right, folks? Like everyone's just eating nachos, no one gives a shit. Goes to like a progressive commercial. Flo comes on television, like Stephanie Courtney, huh? Highest paid payer out there. Worth every cent. Go, Flo, go. But like I said, Hickory, we've got a great show tonight.
Yes, thank you for being here, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you for being my wonderful co-host.
I'm glad to be your co-host any day. Flying in the old cockpit here. For those of you who have television cable package, Comcast, Xfinity, whatever else you have, go ahead, write into the comments. Let us know what television provider you have. And if you have WCTV, because this Friday at 8 p.m., our next performer is performing his greatest stunt yet. Ladies and gentlemen, Hickory, the drunk and underwhelming. Give it up.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Hickory, the drunk and underwhelming. Tonight I am here to show you some feats of magic that few have seen before. I'm going to start by showing you guys a classic. You can see I come with this very empty hat. From this hat, Hickory the drunk and underwhelming will retrieve a rabbit. Now, I know this may not have been the rabbit we're anticipating. So fortunately, I prepared one of those as well. Hickory the drunk and underwhelming's magic dancing rabbits. Look at them go. They're tearing up the dance floor. Okay. Follow that. Well, that's not my deck of cards, but it's almost as equally important. Ooh. Here we go. Standard deck of bicycle playing cards here. And what I'm going to do is, since I can't have a spectator here at the quarantine pad, I'm going to have Collen pick a card for us. If you wouldn't mind just naming any number, any suit, Collen, and
I'm gonna go with the 4 of clubs.
the 4 of clubs.
And just to verify, I did just come up with that on the spot. Happens to be a number I'm privy to, but I just came up with that with no prior discussion of that number.
It would be really funny if the drunk and underwhelming didn't have a 4 of clubs in this. No,
Collen,
see, I magically made that one vanish, Collen, so if you wouldn't mind picking another card. No.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed so far. I'm going to go with the 3 of diamonds.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that would be wonderful.
Did you make that disappear too?
Oh, we got a 3 there. Okay. You, when my beautiful assistant's gonna aid in this, if you wouldn't mind holding that up so everyone can see.
There it is. I see it.
There it is.
I'll grab the Sharpie here. Now, hand my beautiful assistant the Sharpie. And Collen, give her something to write on there. It could be a name. It would be as if there was a spectator here live signing the card. It's something that neither the beautiful assistant, the tiger, or I would have any idea about.
Can the name be Amy?
If you wouldn't mind drawing it nice and big so everybody can see easily. Okay, we'll do. Put that about halfway down on the top. I reach into my pocket, pull something out that you guys might be familiar with. Good old standard great party blue, also known as clown condoms. Oh, that made me thirsty. Okay, so many people may have seen something similar to this before, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that deck of cards in this deck of cards. That's blue. You guys ready? Much like that. Have is cards in a balloon. And you're like, Hickory, why the fuck would you have a signed card if they're all on the balloon? Well, we're gonna try this out, see how it goes. So as you can see, sometimes it pops, so be prepared for loud noises. As you can see, there is very clearly deck of cards in that balloon. What Hickory's gonna do. Gonna pull that card right out of the balloon. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna make it the drunk and underwhelming. We'll see you next week.
That was very impressive. So I just got to get this thing turned on here. As I was saying before, check out this Friday night, 8 p.m. WCTV. Go on to artistry.org. I believe we have a Give Butter page, and we're going to be doing a little fundraising this Friday for the Woodstock Area Relief Fund, which is a great new fund and the Woodstock area that's helping a lot of people out. So we're excited to rock and roll with that. We're gonna move on to the next part of the show. Introduce our next guest, Hickory.
Absolutely. So our next guest coming to our stage is a dear friend of both mine, Collen's. He's a good friend of the comedy club. He is the originator of the Vermont Comedy Outlaws, and the Sultan of Sasquatch, Mr. Pierre Vachon.
What's up? What's up, guys? You like my picture background? Does that work for you? I was like, screw it. You guys said the green screen works. I got one up set up in my house permanently. I figured might as well do something weird. If I move, I could do that. There you go. How you guys doing?
Good, sir. Welcome.
Hey, we all got to do something different. Right? It's always a hustle. So, awesome. Let me take a quick drink.
Cheers.
There we go. Let's get fired up here, gentlemen.
Yeah.
So you guys, let me hit you with something. I have been producing a lot of stuff, and because I'm producing a lot of stuff, my house is really tiny. So now I've had to really rearrange my whole house and make it so that I can do production in it. But I literally have like a 1-bedroom house, like it was originally a chicken coop, right? Literally when I stand up, my head hits the ceiling. It's crazy. But I've put up a green screen permanently nailed up in my bedroom against the only straight wall I have in the whole place with lighting. And it's right next to my bed. And so now if anyone comes over after this whole coronavirus is, without that, pulls in, it looks like I'm shooting porn now in my house. It looks like the worst casting couch you've ever seen, because it's literally, there's only 6 feet from where my couch in the living room is to where my bed is. So to have proper social distancing, one has to sit on the bed and one sits on the couch in the front room. But if you sit on the bed, you're in front of a green screen with cameras and lighting all around you. So it looks like I'm just hopefully shooting porn with anyone who comes into my home. That's currently what my place looks like.
Well, Pierre, I gotta say it's great to have you on the show here. I gotta say you are, in my opinion, the hardest working guy in entertainment around. We gotta say, we're kind of getting the sweet side of the deal right now because, it's like in the past, like, could you have been able to actually perform and then have your bed right next to you?
I gotta tell you, it is pretty sweet to do these shows without pants. And so you're welcome. And and that's a legit thing I really do. I don't wear pants whenever I do these shows. I am pantsless right now. If I stand up, you're gonna get kicked off all your streaming services. It is my newest thing.
On pantsless guests.
I do pantsless shows. I literally just put on a suit coat and I leave everything out hanging, and doesn't matter. And nobody knows. I look like I have dressed up. I could tell you right now I'm wearing matching shoes. You don't have a clue. Meanwhile, the whole bottom is just nothing. Like there's nothing there. It's amazing. It's actually one of the greatest things about what's happened is the fact that I don't have to leave. I can go get a beer from my fridge, walk 8 feet, sit down here, and then drink too much and just literally stand up and fall into my bed after performing. That's not a thing. You all know that performing. You can't do that. Like otherwise,
for those of you who missed last week's quarantine show, we might have a replay of that.
Yeah.
Where we have Pierre who fell pantless down in front of the camera.
No, yeah. I just don't care.
And now a moment from our sponsors.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not worried about getting monetized with this stuff being pantsless, unless Pornhub wants to get me for something because it's just something different. Because when I'm naked, I look like
those deals.
Yeah, when I'm naked, I just look like Sasquatch with mange is really all it is. Like there's just enough awkward hair to make people wonder, was he Bigfoot and he just tried a new hairstyle, or is he gonna? We don't know. So that's what I run with. But yeah, I love it. That is one thing I love being out with crowds like you guys, but man, it is pretty sweet to just have a bottle of tequila next to me that I didn't have to have comped and, by a bar and have to worry about liquor law. I can just sit here and drink and talk to you guys. It's pretty awesome. That I do agree. I miss people, but at the same time, I can't do a show without pants on. That's just not allowed. Well, I can't. I'm sure.
To put it in perspective for our viewers here, you used to put together 7 to 10 shows a month, right?
Yes.
That was like a pretty normal month, and those shows would vary Comedy Thunderdome, which we touched on last week with G-Dubs,
Oh, yeah.
comedy competition. We had Pierre does movie roasts, which
Yep.
is like MST3K from back in the day, except with fun comics. He does trivia nights. You do all sorts of shows.
Yeah. We book it. I book anywhere from 7 to 10 shows a month with my DJ company and with myself, with Big Guys Entertainment, with Vinny, my partner in crime for Big Guys Entertainment. But yeah, we do 7 to 10 a month, and then that wasn't now. Now we still, and I intend to keep all this going after we get done. With all this quarantine. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a whole new world. It's a crazy
fantastic point of view.
There you go. Yeah, it's totally crazy now. I mean, the streaming's been around forever. You guys know that, but now it's the wild, wild west. Everybody, it's become the new public access is the way that streaming is right now. Because I go through people's streams and I see people doing shit online that it blows me away. Like when I used to watch public access as a kid and go, they let them have a camera and they're just letting them do things. That's what's happening on streaming now. I saw somebody petting an iguana on Facebook Live for like 2 hours, and that was their stream.
And that was a stream that I'm so thankful they offered us all, because before that word that exists, but I think that a lot of it is, it's funny that like, I remember like, the first book I ever read about like, digital video. Mm-hmm. And it was written by a guy who, helped invent the digital camera. And he was talking about, he was the first advocate for like a gigabyte card. And people were like, what the hell would you need a gigabyte for? And he's like, well, you need it for video, And like people thought it was like crazy. And then, even, just maybe say 10 years ago, you were buying for several $1,000s a camera that was way inferior to like an iPhone, and today, and, all these different things. And then like, just what's crazy to me right now is just like, the fact that everything's so streamlined, and that even like a few years ago, like I would have like, this is, if there was ever a time to be quarantined, this is like kind of the perfect time for it, because it's like we actually have, I think a lot of people have the tools to be able to do stuff like this, where remotely, where like even 5 or 10 years ago, it might've been really difficult to like just queue in and talk to people, remotely and with good, video,
Oh yeah, it would have looked like the old choppy porn when you were trying to watch the screen and you couldn't see when it used to be the UHF channels and stuff. Yeah, because it, or back when you tried to download a picture off AOL and it pixelated and it took like an hour.
Yeah, and it just came down by like
little bits. Like, and you got more and more excited that if it was an ugly chick, you were like, oh, it's horrible roulette. It's horrible roulette. But yeah, it's
we're showing our age here.
Yeah. It's so weird now. It's so crazy. Like, I'm not a very tech savvy person overall. I'm more old school with a lot of stuff. And it's weird to me now that it's so streamlined that the guy, Vinny, is my tech guy who really knows his stuff with tech.
For those of you guys don't know, Vinny, best in the game.
Yeah, Vinny's amazing when it comes
well
to
produced.
Yeah, he produces stuff and makes elves disappear and shit. And I don't know how he does it, but he does it well. But he has to like beat it over my head and simplify it for me, because I'm used to just getting hit in the head with chairs for a living. So he has to like really break it down. And I get frustrated. And if you guys saw the backstage, the behind the curtain with him and I right before we do our live show, of me just yelling at computers and not understanding why things don't work. And like, I'm just having an emotional breakdown, and he's just like, hit enter. And I'm like, I can't do this. And then it all works now. But if I think that like 8 years ago, I would have lost my mind. I would have just thrown a computer out and been like, well, we're doing it live. I'm just going to people's houses. Like, I'm not doing streaming. Is going to be me driving to people's houses, just talking to them.
Yeah, I'm going a cappella from the street. Here it comes.
I'm just going to yell with a megaphone, and whoever can hear in that range gets the show. That's where I was at for a while, without a doubt. But yeah, it's crazy. This whole thing has been insane. Like, just the fact that we can do this right now is insane to me.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah, and the quarantine show I do, I've added a bunch of elements now, and that I never thought I'd be able to do, like video production from my computer, one computer, and do it while drinking and be able to pass out in my bed It's amazing. Like that's something new.
You're living the dream.
I'm living someone's dream, whoever it is. I don't know, but I'm
Now,
living
once we
alone.
get-
So
Now, once we get the Big Guys Entertainment boat,
yes, that's the next one. We're moving on. Brandon, Brandon.
The Facebook and the Pornhub live stream simultaneously.
Yes, I'm gonna.
2 different
Guys,
shots.
why have we not started a fans only page with us?
I'm thinking about that for a bit.
Yeah,
you guys
wanna go-
haven't?
Hey, if anybody in the comments there wants to see Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming's wand on OnlyFans,
Yeah.
There it is. That's what I like. I'm down. That's fun. Oh God.
now that we've gotten on the subjects of wrestling and porn, which happen to be 2 of my favorite things in the world,
Amen.
is I saw during an interview the other day, and I had to ask you about this here, was that Tim Pool was on Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah.
Both guys I've liked for a while, and anybody in comedy respects the hell out of Rogan.
Oh, yeah.
But he was on his podcast, and they were talking, and there's this whole interaction between them where Tim basically said there's no stupid questions, and Joe Rogan was like, well, there is stupid questions. Can you eat glass? And Tim Pool said, well, yeah, but there's performers that eat glass. And then Rogan responded with something like to the effect of, oh yeah, but they use sugar glass. And me, as a guy who's never eaten glass, but as a performing artist in music and comedy and being a fan of wrestling, it broke my heart. And I wanted to ask you your opinion on the stance that glass eaters eat sugar glass.
Oh God. Tim Pool. Oh. It's so sad when people are so uneducated about things.
Yeah, it broke my heart to hear Rogan say that.
Yeah, and Rogan, like, oh, Rogan, what are you doing, man? No, I eat glass. I've done that gimmick. I've done that. It's you eat glass. It's really I'll tell you the secret to it. It's not a huge secret. It's how you chew the glass. You have to chew flat. And you have to use thin glass. You can't, like, I've eaten a beer bottle before. I've eaten a piece of a beer bottle, and that did damage to my teeth. So I didn't stop doing that. That's why they do the light bulbs and not the light tubes, like regular old light bulbs. Can't use the mercury ones unless you want to die from illness. You have to use an old regular filament light bulb because they're so thin. But the trick is you put that damn glass in your mouth and you chomp straight down. You don't angle or grind. You chomp straight down. And as you chomp, it breaks it down and doesn't make it sharp anymore. And then when you swallow it, you have to swallow it with water so that you swish it around in and get everything in one gulp so it goes down and it gets all coated. You're eating glass, Joe. You're not, sugar glass would melt. Like
Pierre's like, let me get one thing straight. I have ate way too much glass for anyone to say I was just eating sugar over here.
That pisses me off. As someone who has done that gimmick many times, I'm like, please don't, Joe Rogan, don't tell people that. It's not real. In a movie, they could pull that crap. But in real life, sugar glass, and anyone who's been around sugar glass or worked with it, I know, Colin, you've done movies and stuff. You know this. Sugar glass doesn't, once it's under heat, it starts to melt. It looks like crap.
It does. And then even like if you try to use it as a prop, like they'll make the glasses like a wine glass or something like that. That's like a flute to, the gimmick smashes. It's flimsy shit, It's not,
if you touch it just wrong, it shatters and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. And the ones that are really good, the breakaway, are not sugar. They're made from a plastic. That's a certain type of plastic, which those shatter and look amazing, but you can't eat them. Like it's literally chemicals. Like, what are you doing? Like, no, Joe, that's insane.
See, that used to be my big trick, Pierre. Is I used to swish around the chemicals in my mouth.
Then you, sir, should be making more money than you are.
Nobody thought that it was edible.
Yeah, you should be suing someone at this point to make money. That's all No, that's crazy. I haven't seen that episode yet, but now I got to watch it. And I wish I had direct connection to Joe Rogan to be like, Joe, no, that's not true.
Oh, I thought about that right when I saw it as I was watching that one live, or right after he posted it. And all I could think was like, God damn it. I wish I was big enough in the industry just to email this motherfucker while he's on the show.
Right.
Well, I had a mouthful of glass.
Like let me call my buddy and he'll do it for you. Like
Yeah.
we can,
Hey, Joe, can you hear me? Oh, you
Yeah.
can't hear me? That's because I'm eating glass right now, you
Yeah.
ass.
I'm chewing on a light bulb, Joe. And it
Yeah,
ain't sugar.
a light bulb over here.
it hit me right to my heart, just like when somebody says that wrestlers get hit with fake chairs, and I'm just
Oh
like,
God.
good
Oh.
Lord.
Oh.
Like,
Oh.
no.
Tell my head that. My scarred up, horrifically beaten head, and the fact that I can't remember my dad's name because I've been hit so many times in the head with a chair. Like, that one cracks me up too. And people say that to me all the time. That's probably one of the biggest questions I get as a pro wrestler. The first thing, do you really get hit with stuff like chairs? And I'm like, yeah, it's real. It's not they're like, oh, I heard they're fake. I'm like, well, first of all, no indie promotion or smaller company has the money to buy gimmicked movie chairs. They cost 300, 400 bucks for one. WWE might have some lighter chairs, but they have millions of dollars to drop on that crap. When I go to an armory with Shecky, the promoter, who literally has put together from his cigar collection just enough money to not pay the wrestlers, but to have a show so he can feel good about himself. He does not have the money to buy a gimmick chair. He literally takes a chair from a fan, folds it up, and goes, here, hit someone with this. And you just learn to take a chair shot. It's just that. You'll see now in wrestling, they don't take chair shots like they used to.
No, there's no more unprotected headshots. That's for sure.
No, and that's because of us that were stupid that took a lot of them. Like, I took a headshot so bad once, and I've had concussions. I know some of them I might not remember, but I know I've had concussions. But I took one so bad one time I didn't remember the match. I remembered getting hit with the chair in the middle of the match, and then I got in the back and I was taking off my tape. And I was like, oh, well, that was great. We ended with the chair spot. And the dude was like, we did 10 minutes after that. And I was like, I don't remember any of it. Like, what are you talking about? I thought he was ribbing me. I legit thought it was like Groundhog Day type shit. He's like, he was just messing with me. He's like, no, dude, we did 10 more minutes. Here's the video. And I was like, oh, I don't remember any of that. But it looked great. I realized I should have gotten knocked out more often because I was fabulous. Like, the match looked amazing when I didn't think about it.
I imagine what was going on in your head was similar to the background right now on the green screen.
Yes.
And you're just like free dancing around the stage. But I love that was like the halftime commentary of being like, so Pierre, tell us, how's the match gone so far? And we're like, honestly, I remember getting hit in the head with a chair.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Outside of that, I got back to you, Tim.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. I literally got in the locker.
I'm like, you want my play-by-play?
Yeah.
Let's see. It started, hit by a chair, match ended,
and done. Yeah, I thought we were done. No. So when I hear that crap of like fake chairs and all that, I'm like, oh my god. Yes, professional wrestling is predetermined. Yes, we protect each other. No, the chairs are real, everybody. And when we get hit, that's why. And what I hate is the ones that people get mad if we put our hands up to protect our heads.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, what a wimp. He put his hand up. I'm like, you come get hit with an armory chair. And tell me why I didn't put my damn hand up. Like, yeah, I want to remember why I took piano lessons as a kid. I don't want to forget all that after every chair shot and have to be reminded. I actually legit, true story. And most wrestlers do this. And if they don't tell you they don't, they're lying to you. When you get hit hard enough in the ring, you do a self-check in the ring in your own brain. You say your name in your own head out loud. You say your address, your phone number, and you get that into rote so that if you get hit and you can't do that, you're like, something's wrong. I don't remember.
And then your last question you say is, where is middle C?
Yeah. I can't. Yeah. So it's like, I've been hit enough by real steel chairs to just, and I've had dudes bend a chair over my head, like literally hit me hard enough with a steel chair, it bent. And they're like, at the end, they're like, yeah, sorry, man. Didn't, not bad. I was swinging.
Put a little heat on it. You know,
Yeah.
I wanted to look good in the cheap seats too. Like,
Sorry. I'm sorry if I loaded a little hard in the back. My head is swollen and I look like
Put a little spice on the taco over here.
Yeah, exactly. I look like people from under the stairs just coming out like a weird Rob Zombie movie, like one of his characters. And and I'm like, oh no, it's fine. It looked great. And this eye's not working, and my face is doing weird things. Yeah, no, it's been the chair thing is a bunch of BS without a doubt.
That's awful.
Yeah, don't get hit with chairs, man.
Up until this portion, there was a part of me deep inside that was like, I wanted Pierre to hammer me with a chair shot before he goes into real retirement.
Nah.
And,
well, I'll hit you.
Oh my God, I don't know.
I'll throw a chair shot at your back, but I wouldn't recommend taking one to the head. It's kind of like saying I've always wanted to be shot in the face. Just because I thought that'd be an experience. No one says that. No one thinks like unless you have
David Blaine turned that shit into a whole special. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna build it up. Hickory gets shot in the face.
Well, the trick is I'd only be able to post that on my OnlyFans page.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you make your money. Do it naked, because that's where the money's at. That's what I'm learning anyway. Everyone, after my quarantine shows lately, we've been doing a lot of sex talk, and the stuff that I've been getting mailed and asked, like, how many people have DM'd me? You've seen the show, you've been in.
Oh yeah, it's a great show, by the way. Everybody who's out there following, please check out Pierre's show.
Oh yeah, the quarantine show. You can check it out on my Facebook. Find Pierre the Beast and check out the quarantine show with Pierre Vachon. I do it probably 4 to 6 nights a week. It varies. It depends.
And never with pants on, just to make it very, very clear.
I'm usually not. I think I've done 3 shows with pants, and that was because I had to run in from being outside doing grocery deliveries and run in and start the show. So, but I've had so many random people, men and women, after the quarantine show, just sending me messages going, "Can we see the whole picture without the pants?" I'm like, whoa. You gotta pay. That's Snapchat premium shit right there. Like, what are we doing?
Boom.
Snapchat premium. That's what we all need. We all need Snapchat premium.
I don't know. I don't Snapchat. I gotta be honest. I don't have a Snapchat. I got on Snapchat for one time for like a second. I was like, this seems like a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I have a Snapchat that I never use, and I have a TikTok I've never used.
Never used a TikTok.
Do you use it? No, you said? I don't understand how that shit works.
My beautiful assistant is a huge TikTok fan.
So
and I gotta say,
are.
The only thing that comes out of it, to be honest, is I get like these 30-second clips of music that are stuck in my fucking skull for days at a time. And like some of them are decent, like they're independent content creators creating these funny snippets. Like the one lately has been the song that's like Carol Baskins killed her husband, whacked and you're like, okay, some guy on TikTok came up with that, but like
I haven't heard this one yet, but it's got a nice little beat to it.
And then but 3/4 of it is people just taking whatever top 40 bullshit's coming up, taking out a clip that's somebody come get her, she was dancing like a stripper.
Yeah.
And then they put video to it, and like it gets thousands of views.
Yeah, I've thought about doing one, but I have no clue how to do TikTok. I have TikTok and I have no clue how to do all that shit. Like,
can we agree on the fact that we're all going to make a clever little TikTok together where we just bounce around with green screen going, we're all going to get her, Carol Baskin gonna kill her, and shoot at Carol Baskin, and
we need to do something ridiculously pointless on TikTok. I agree, because I don't get it.
It might be time to take some market share here. I'm just saying, gentlemen.
We got to do something, because I tried it the other night. I was like, let me try. And I tried clicking on the video thing. And then I didn't understand how to do the music lip sync crap. And I was like, I ended up just continuing drinking and threw the phone down and said, I'm done with TikTok. And then
that might have been your perfect first TikTok video.
Yeah, that's just me confused. But the problem is if I'm not wearing pants, it might come up, and then that's going to be. They don't have a TikTok premium yet, do they? Have they made that yet? TikTok premium, people get naked and dance and do weird shit on TikTok premium.
They've also got they got some weird rules because they're it's apparently like a Chinese company. So some of their rules are really weird, and you can't say certain things.
Really?
There can't be a firearm in your video, even if it's just like on your
Let's
belt.
just say
not like highlighting it. But there's also and they don't allow certain things around sex, but there's also other videos where I've seen where it's people very explicitly talking about certain sexual things, and it's like it's one of those weird. Like sometimes
There
it's
is
okay,
a
sometimes it's not.
0% chance that Pierre ever gets onto TikTok. Is what I'm coming down to.
If it happens, it'll be somebody will have done it for me. If it happens, I have an assistant. That's
Exactly. Pierre, you've been here on TikTok. I've often joked that, like, Pierre, it's great. Like I said, it's great to have you here, man. It's great to see you. I've always joked around that, like, you know, you're someone who has done so many different things and everything. Like, there's nothing that I could hear that you've said or done that I wouldn't be like surprised by. Like, I can imagine people probably come to like Frog Alley and I like have some like weird question to you and be like, sorry, like, Pierre, have you ever tattooed an anus before? And just being like, have I? Welcome to Frog Alley, folks. Came to the right place.
Actually, I don't tattoo, but the tattoo artist has tattooed an anus. That you say that. He tattooed inside of a woman's butt, the Terminator head, and the mouth was the butt, was the hole. So there you go. That has literally happened.
That actually leads
and I
me
gotta say, I might not have done it, but guess what? I came up with the quote.
That perfectly leads me to a question that I had for you, Pierre, is that I've noticed that a lot of my friends on the internet that do any type of personal services, i.e. cutting hair, doing nails, lawn care, they keep getting these people hitting them up and being like, hey, I know it's not all right, but would you come over and do this? I want to ask, how many people have you had directly message you and been like, hey, man, I'll slip you, I'll pay double the going rate if you could just come over and pierce me?
Yeah. Every day.
Yeah.
I get at least a few every day going, hey, would you come over to my house and bring your needles and like just do something here? Or saying, hey, do you know if your tattoo artist will come over and tattoo me at my house? Stop it. No, we're not doing that. It's just a pain in the butt. And
and it's a profession, man. Like, treat them professionally.
I'm licensed. I'm a licensed piercer. I didn't learn it in a jailhouse and just walk in and start doing it, or watch a YouTube video and suddenly think I'm a master piercer. I didn't take a master class to do that. I literally got trained. I should do a master class for piercing, but make it all wrong. Like, teach them the dumbest shit possible. Like, everyone, all right, everybody, now we're gonna pierce a nose. The first thing you have to do is get naked. And we always get naked when we do a piercing. And then you have to walk in a semicircle and talk to yourself before you do the piercing. Like, just the weirdest shit I could think of to make people think that was a legit thing you do. I'm not famous enough to have a master class, but no, it's
I love this idea.
We just got a winning comment. Thomas McElhaney comments, Pierre lanced a boil on me in a theater. Is that a true story?
I think I did, actually. Come to think of it. Yes. I've done theater with Thomas. Now I'm trying to remember the name. Yeah, Thomas. Yeah, actually, we were in a production together, and I drained a thing off of him. Yes, that was awful. It was disgusting, and it was not. But we were in a show; it had to be done. So it was a real thing.
That's a hell of a castmate, folks.
Yeah. Hey, look.
Not only was he off book, but he was also draining pus off of some random part of the back.
Yeah, I'll run your lines with you, and I'll do minor surgery. Whatever you need. I'm your go-to in theater. Like, when we're on stage, I will do what it takes to make sure that everyone's okay for the show. Damn it. If that means draining your pus, I will drain your pus.
That is the job of a true thespian right there.
Yeah. I remember when I read Uta Hagen and I read The Method of Acting. They said it's important to really connect with your fellow castmates by draining.
That's just basic scene work right there.
Yeah, it's basic method right there. It's, if you're going to do Stanislavski, you got to go with the whole concept. So
I come with a little pus.
Yeah, I got to be connected with you. So if we have to touch each other, I might as well drain fluid off of your skin. And that makes it all make sense. I believe that's how Mark Hamill, when he played Jack the Ripper in London, I think he drained the pus off of his castmates. I'm gonna start that.
I would be, if he didn't, I feel like I didn't get a real performance.
I feel like he wasn't really reaching for the character.
Just phoned it in.
He didn't give that kind of performance, that kind of oomph.
Maybe that's a alternate OnlyFans site you got going there. I don't know what they do over there. But like Sir Lancelot, you're just.
Well, I'll tell you that that's a huge market right there. Is just the all the pus, like pimple popping crap and all that.
Yeah, my beautiful assistant loves that shit. That's why Dr. Pimple Popper girl lady there, that cute little one that does it, she's got a friggin' main show on the Looney Channel or TLC or whatever they call it.
Yeah,
she's got
a Looney Channel.
She got an entire career out of that thing just for popping gross shit out of people. We're getting towards the end here.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, we're at 6:46. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't holding up Pierre too long.
No, I'll get out of here in a minute because I got to go get ready for my show at 7. It's a crazy night. I'm on with you guys, and I'm going all the way. I have Big Guys Banter on BigGuysEntertainment.com after you guys get out of here.
Please check that out.
Yeah, check out Big Guys Entertainment. Vinny and I have Big Guys Banter starting at 7 or pretty close, or probably 7:05 based on this. And then right after that at 9:30, I'm doing my quarantine show live. So I'm streaming live all night. I'm here with you. Yeah, it's a party. We'll be doing sex talk on the quarantine show and all that good stuff, and singing and randomness, and someone will probably propose to me in the comment threads. Who knows? Or ask me to tie them up.
Last week we had GW on the show, and he made the comment that he was the longest running champion right now of the Thunderdome.
That's true.
And that is true.
That is true.
I made the comment that I might help co-sponsor a new show to go take the Thunderdome digital just to spite GW and take him off the throne.
I do.
And before we lose you, I just want to say, I mean, I'm still interested, you know?
All right. Because I am working on it. I'm trying to figure out how to make it work. But I do want to do Thunderdome digital, like streaming, and have a bunch of comics and do the same thing we used to do. And do it that way. I'm working on it. I'm working on the tech and how to get everybody connected in it. But stay tuned. We will be doing Thunderdome. So there will be a champion. G-Dub? Yeah, G-Dub's going to have to get ready to defend. He is currently, based on this, it took a virus to happen, but it did happen. He is the longest running. I mean, I say the same thing.
The best virus GW ever got.
Yeah, Damian and I, my old tag partner, we actually are the longest running tag champs in like 7 promotions because they canceled after they stopped doing shows after we won the titles. Like they went under. So we left as their last champions. So I think I have a running record with RCW in Connecticut. I have been a member of the tag team champions for 17 years. I am the longest running tag team champions in RCW. 17 years we held that title. Never been defended ever since. I was a reigning champion. 17 years. I used to put that when I was a baby wrestler and didn't have much on my credential sheet. I used to put shit like that on it. Like, oh, I've been holding this independent title for 7 years. Didn't tell anyone they stopped promoting, but it just sounded really good because there's so many promotions. We call it alphabet soup. There's so many promotions with different letters that nobody knows who's running anymore or who isn't. So we were like, oh, we're the RCW champions for 7 years. Oh, that's impressive. They've kept you champions that long. Oh, yeah, we've been doing great. So I am all for GW using me to promote his championship. Feel free.
Pierre, as we wrap up, anything you want to, other than the shows, let us know where people could find you, any plugs you have, any upcoming things. Absolutely. Where we can get more Pierre Vachon in our lives.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you guys for having me on, and everybody who checks out, because I just shared this on my Facebook. If you're watching this, keep up with Woolen Mill, keep up with all their shows as well. But if you check out Pierre the Beast, you can find me on Facebook. You can find the Quarantine Show with Pierre Vachon, so you can check that out. I'm all over the place. Just look me up. I've got a bunch of stuff. Big Guys Entertainment. Please check out our website, bigguysdj.com or bigguysentertainment.com. We're doing a lot of stuff on there. We've got a lot of content. We're doing weekly shows, so you don't want to miss it. We're going to go do the live podcast right now. Big Guys Banter. I'm about to log in to do that. So please check out our stuff and take care of each other. That's the big thing. Let's get all through this together, and help each other out so we can get back to normal or somewhat normal. None of us are normal. Look at us. There's a drunk magician, and he's in an empty room with his glasses on, and I'm apparently in space or ecstasy space. That's what it looks like. Like I look like I'm about to start a rave by myself. So which a rave by yourself is no different than saying you're not an alcoholic if you drink alone. It's the same thing. So you're just using drugs. But other than that, please check out my stuff. I'd love to see y'all tonight. Right now, Big Guys, we got bigguysentertainment.com, bigguysdj.com/big banter, I believe is the link. Check that out. And then quarantine show tonight at 9:30. Please come over and join us. We talk about, Kyle's usually there. Hickory's there. We talk about random crap. Collen comes in. It's all over the map. You never know what we're going to do. The last 2 nights have been about kink and sex advice, and people talking about threesomes and like asking how to get rid of a lame sexual partner. And it's been really weird. So we're going to keep doing it. So hopefully y'all see it tonight.
The Vermont comedy love line for
yes, it's my new show apparently.
Who want a man that's the perfect amalgamation of Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla, like they were having a baby, and you need certain advice about like how to purchase good rope or how to get great deals on Amazon on a shirt that ends up being a sex sleeve. Please go over and check out their show. It's a great show, and it's 4 or 5 days a week right now, Pierre?
Yeah, it's usually 4 or 5. It really varies. I try to do more, but I've been doing a lot of other stuff, helping with the community. So I haven't, sometimes I just have to take a night off. But I'm trying to do at least 4 nights a week. And then with the other 3 shows a week that we're doing with Big Guys, we're pretty packed. So. And
then Collen, we have a special Friday night. You want to give a quick spiel on that and anything
yes.
you plug?
Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you again, Pierre. It's great to see you, buddy. Tune in this Friday, 8 p.m. WCTV streaming online. Check out Artistry's page. And it's going to be a really great show. Comedy from Brian Munzer, Indigenous Entertainment. Check them out on Facebook. Socially Responsible Sketch Group. Yeah, and then also the grand performance from Hickory, the Drunk and Underwhelming. Hickory, great show tonight. Thank you for having me on the show, putting this thing together. From the Woolen Comedy Club, signing off.
Hey, thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Before we go, I'd just like to say, please, those of you in the Barnard, Woodstock area that get WCTV, you can find our show there. If not, it'll be on the Artistry YouTube Friday night at 8. Please come back next week. Episode 3 of the Woolen Mill Comedy Club presents the Hickory the Drunken Under Quarantine show. Next week's guest will be Silas McPrior of Indigenous Entertainment Live. We'll have our first musical performance on the Hickory the Drunken Under Quarantine show, and we're glad to have you. I hope you guys have had fun. A big thanks to my beautiful assistant and mothers and that one in-law, Debbie, for coming out and watching the show. We see you out there. But please, everybody, please remember, stay drunk and underwhelming. Stay safe.